Hey everybody, it's time for this week's Market Snapshot. What's happened in the Northern Virginia real estate market in the last 7 days in under 5 minutes. Here we go. All right, it is time for this week's Market Snapshot. This is probably the last Market Snapshot of 2025. Where it's the week before Christmas, and I was a little ambitious last week, hoping that Kelly would be able to join me this week so we could go over what was going on with Zillow, but it's just not going to happen. And next week we're going to be out of town for Christmas, then we have the New Year, so we will pick up the New Year with all of the different market data and stats, and as well as going into different subjects, and we're going to start off with what's happening with Zillow, unless something more urgent comes up. But I want to go ahead and go through the stats today, so those of you that are out there shopping right now know what to be prepared for, and those of you that have listings right now know what to be prepared for with regards to the offers that may be coming in. Okay, so as always, our black line is the buyer activity or the demand. These are the number of properties that went under contract in the last 7 days, and you can see that we've been pretty flat for the last couple of weeks on buyer demand. Inventory is the teal line, and you can see that has just been slowly and steadily decreasing along with buyer activity as we've gone into the fall. And you can see that we had a pickup right after the Thanksgiving weekend, and now we had another drop here with a couple weeks before Christmas. So if we look back at last year, we're pretty close to where we were last year with regards to inventory coming on the market. So we'll expect another drop to happen over Christmas, and then New Year's probably stay around that area. And then once we get in January, we start picking back up with regards to inventory. Same thing with buyer activity. Next week, with it being Christmas, we anticipate a large drop in buyer activity because of all the travel. We'll stay kind of low through New Year's, and then buyer activity is going to pick up. So what does this mean? This means that if you are a buyer and you're considering buying in the spring, well, this is what's going to happen in the spring. We're going to have a lot more buyer activity, and it's only going to increase as we get into the summer. So we'll also have more inventory, so you will have more choices, but there's going to be a lot more competition. So if you can find a property right now that fits your needs, it is good to go ahead and take advantage of that. Go ahead and put an offer on that property, because what will happen is you'll see that even though we are in a seller's market right now, that buyers are still getting their contingencies. So going through what's happening on the actual contracts here in Northern Virginia, about 60% of contracts are going at or above listing price. About 40% are going below listing price. 25% are going in less than 7 days. 25% are going between 7 and 21 days. And then 51% are going over that 21 days. And again, 51% going over 21 days, 22 plus days, but only 40% going under asking price. So that doesn't necessarily mean that if a property's been on the market for more than 22 days, you're going to get a discount. So just be aware of that. And if you look at the contingencies, and this is where the beauty comes in for buyers right now, 75% are getting their finance contingency, about 75%, 76 and 74 are getting their appraisal contingency, and about 78% are getting their inspection contingency. So right now, buyers are able to put offers in on property, and they're able to get their protections as they go through the process, versus when we get into the spring, a lot fewer will be able to get all of these contingencies, because you will be competing against other people that will likely be removing those contingencies. So basically, it's a very, very fair market right now. It's still a bit on the seller side, so sellers are still getting top dollar for their properties, but the ones that are prepared correctly and priced appropriately are the ones that are going quickly. The ones that are overpriced or not priced for their condition are sitting for a little while and possibly getting a reduced asking price. So buyers, if you guys have any questions about your personal situation, reach out to Kelly and me. We would love to help you out. And same thing with sellers. And let's just kind of finish out this last couple weeks strong and get ready for what may be happening in January as we start seeing that spring market start kicking off again. All right, everybody have a great week out there. And if I don't get a video in next week, because next week will actually be Christmas week, I wish you all a happy holiday, Merry Christmas, and then a Happy New Year. All right, everybody take care, and yeah, we'll see you soon.